Alright guys, welcome back to War of Trades. Let's look at today's episode 5. It's the 3rd of November 2024. 2022. We are in a little bit of a hard spot. So let's look at the situation. First of all, let's discuss what happened yesterday. So the Fed did not pivot, and Powell actually said it is very premature to be thinking about pausing our rate hikes. We have a ways to go. So there is still this is a lot of bearishness. You have seen yesterday we were somewhere here. We drew this line here and we actually went down. So the market found some support here at 368. So this is our new support line. Here we have seen in the past at 367 mark. Here has been a lot of buying, and you can see here historically this is the spot where when buyers went back in. If we look at everything else, we can say we are under the 200-day moving average, we are under the 50-day moving average, and we are somewhere below the 14-day exponential moving average. And usually when we are under it, we went back up, but it feels like we have still room to go. If you look here from the past, this is somewhere there is the spot where we could see heavy buying into it. So here would be the best spot to actually go. If you expect the market to tank because of a recession, stagflation, everything bad that could happen, then we could expect a lot more pain to come. But on the other hand, here, if we look at the of today, we can see that at the mark of 368, we've seen heavy buying right back in. And this is important because here you can see there are no more sellers right here. So it feels like that people do not want, and institutions do not want to sell at this level. So here we found some buyers, and interesting to see the list. So we went down here and we were back up. Then let's look at the Nasdaq. Here we have seen downtrend. You can see that it hit once here, once here, once here, once here. There is a nice dividend, and look, here we are. It feels like that we are going down, we're going deeper. The RSI is a little bit low, so it's at 39. So it could mean that we could see some buying tomorrow. Here we are seeing indecision on the part of the buyers and the sellers. So it's a little bit of a stalemate. Here you can see it's not a perfect line, but somewhere out here we have found some buyers. So it's a good spot after all. Then let's look at the VIX. The VIX is still falling. The RSI is really low. So we could expect another bounce of the VIX right now. And an interesting thing, this is the fear index. So it looks like that investors are not that scared anymore. So it's something to keep in mind. And now I have looked at the White House, and the White House has updated their definition of recession again. And wh.gov you can read. What is a recession? While some maintain that two consecutive quarters of falling real GDP constitutes a recession, that is neither the official definition nor the way economists evaluate the state of the business cycle. Instead of both official determinations of recessions and economists' assessment of economic activity are based on, and then there is the joke, the Phillies winning the World Series. So it's interesting. And actually, we have seen three stock crashes when in the past this happened. So you never know. And if we are on the side of looking at the world as a big simulation, we could conclude that this may actually be true, and that we may be in a sort of simulation. So right now everything looks good. We have three parameters to look at. We have the 200-day moving average, and looking from the past, you can see that if we're based on the past, you can see here that we have way more to go. So maybe this time the VIX could go around this level, so the level 22. So this is a good way. If we can find a way to short here the VIX at the max pain, as you can see here in the beginning of the COVID situation, here you can see the max pain, and here around 50 we have seen February 18th. So these are all the levels that you could be shorting heavily and make big great gains. Although it's shorting the VIX is not as you can get burnt very quickly. So the people that moved all the money here that went up, they made a fortune, but the people that bought here lost everything, and it does not look like they are going to regain in the future, and it has been 4 years, so something to keep in mind. Let's look now at how our positions are doing. We have been shorting the Doge, and you can see here that we were on the money. These candles and these hollow spaces indicates that there are no more buyers, and a lot of selling was going on. And here it looks like a little bit of a stalemate, but still no more buyers at this level. So people are not as confident as before on Doge, and I expect that if we are to rebound, somewhere around these levels would be a good level for a bounce play. If you look like this, if you're going down, that's the idea of what could happen. We went long on IDEX and it's not moving at all, and of course this is probably not because it's a bad stock or good stock or so on, but we will see. It's because of the interest rates so big, and when the interests are so big, usually money is more expensive, and when money is more expensive, companies that are reliant on external money and on money that is borrowed, it gets a lot more expensive. Dogecoin, after a massive 150% spike, is the crypto preparing a run to 25 cents? It may be. We will see. Okay. And let's look now at individual stocks. The stocks, let's see. the worst performer of today in my view, or in my watch list, is Nicola. Okay, you can see here a big pump and went back down. Even though they beat expectations, they have a really small revenue and still missed on almost everything. AMRN, Amarin Corporation. Okay, they actually got a surprise of 2%, and they were a little bit more profitable than expected. I mean, it's like the estimate was 0.0, so they were more profitable after all. So they may be even becoming a profitable company in the future. Here we have a big gap to fill, and when the market rebounds, we could see a big bounce. Ooh, coin is falling down. Maybe this would be some good levels to add to coin. Of course, we are expecting an earnings report. November the 3rd is today. We're going to see. IDEX, nothing going on here for this stock. Still waiting for the pump. We could expect it. We are right here at these levels where a pump could happen in the future. Riot, it's connected with Bitcoin, so we could still see a winter with these stocks, but you never know. Spotify falling big, still falling. Okay, I mean, in my opinion, a good company, and it has fallen so much, and looks like that it's never going to remember, it feels like. Then we have April falling. Interesting, guys. Look, here we are at some interesting levels. So if you would like to get into April, this would be some good levels to think about. If you think that Apple is a good stock and that they have made a lot of progress. Shift, yesterday was a good day, they went up, and now of course down. Affirm, holding. Okay, we're getting to the support line, which has to hold. Google, oh my god, Google is falling heavily. Too much, I mean, it some interesting levels to look at, to think about. PayPal, today is the earnings call, so we will see how this goes. Probably it's gonna be okay. Penn National Gaming, they actually beat. They were better, 100% better, and they had a revenue surprise of 40 million. Okay, good. You will see. Okay, yeah, of course they had great results, but still, from a technical point, they were too overextended, and here around 11 would be a good point to re-enter this stock if you're interested in it. AMC, okay, falling, no more buyers. We could be looking at the future for another run. Okay, let's look. Roku, today it was a big sell-off in the morning, even though they reported much better results than expected. I mean, so a lot of overreaction from the market. We were 20% down, so this would be a good start a position when we went that low. And look, we are at the levels of 4 years ago, and if we invest now, and if we're going to see like half of that, maybe around $200 a share could be target for the future in some years if they execute well, of course. Okay. AT&T falling, of course, even though they had good results, the stock was overextended. Here you can see that no more buyers were interested in buying, so around these are probably a good point to buy would be here around 16 or 17. Palantir waiting for the earnings report. Here you can see we've fallen and we have been here a little bit in a stalemate under the 200-day moving average, so we could see a rebound. Depends on what the market is going to tell us, what the results are going to be. Okay, let's look at the winner. The winner of today is Zillow. Zillow had great results, surprise of 25 minutes, and actually they were much more profitable than expected. This is great news for investors of this company. So maybe a new price target would be around 40 and 50. Hood, Robinhood, they had some great news. So they managed to become much more profitable, and they actually made they were a little less more profitable. I mean, they were much more profitable, 34%, which is great news. And NDM, okay, we had a run today and a sell-off. I wonder what was that about. Maybe some news. Let's look. Let me check Stocktwitts. Usually good news you can find on, even though it's a good place to look, even though there's a lot of trash there. Nothing really. I can't see anything, but let's look what happened. So we had a massive jump to almost 3, a big pump, and then we fell back down. What happened? I don't know, but it may be a precursor to see the levels of 7 or 9 again. We will see. Okay, Boeing. Okay, this is, I don't get it. So they had very bad earnings. And why is this? I mean, they went up like $30 a share, which is crazy. TLRY, okay, small jump. Skills, okay, they had results. They had a little bit more revenue than expected, and they had 40% less. They were less profitable than expected. Okay, but they could get there. I mean, the gaming industry is interesting, and we could see this 9 to 17 levels again. So far, Neo got destroyed, even though if it's a good stock, and you can see here analysts probably making wild guesses. Somewhere between here would be a fair price for this stock. They were a little less profitable than expected, but nonetheless they had earnings beat. They're expecting to get 1.8 billions. Let's see how that goes. SoFi, okay, they of course they had a great earnings beat and a big sell-off, but today they rebound a little. NCLH, okay, so they are expecting to see earnings call. I mean, it's a little bit too overextended. It went up too fast in a too short period of time, so it was like, let's look. It's like 50% in how much? In a month, 22 days. Or maybe if we look from the bottom, the stock to here, so in 38 days they went up 56%. So even though we're in a bear market, we could still see some gains and recover our losses. Of course, here is a tricky position, and if you look from the past, and of course the past does not mean the future, but here we can see once, twice we went up above the 200-day moving average and then right back down, and then we failed to touch it, and now we have another one and we've touched the 40-day exponential moving average and we went back up. So let's remove drawings. Okay, so here are some interesting levels to look at. Okay, Expel expecting big results, but it looks like that something is finally brewing. We are so much below what we used to be, so, and not that much of a reason. I mean, really, okay, they were a little less profitable than expected, but I mean, that of fall for the reason, I don't know. Lee still doing great. Khan, okay, interesting stock. I mean, when the crypto mania gets back on, we could see a big bounce of this stock. So we were already at 39, so it has potential. FinV, interesting stock, trades sideways basically and is waiting for something to happen. Okay, but not that I mean, it's not that bad today. So okay, I mean, guys, do we have to look at something else? Let's look at the crypto. Dogecoin we have looked at. Bitcoin, still nothing much going on. Ethereum, also nothing much. We are in a channel right now and waiting for things to happen. Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I wish you all the best and all the best luck in the market.